So remember that the decimal point, it's not a comma. We don't use it as a separator for large numbers. It's not a dot. We use the word dot for internet and email addresses, as in the phrase .com. And it's not used in text. When it's used in text, we call it a full stop in the UK or a period in the US. And after the decimal point, we've looked at what happens when we have a zero before the decimal point. But after the decimal point, English speakers will usually say O instead of 0. So 2.050, because after the decimal point, we always say each number separately. So this number 2.05 or 2.050, you need to be used to hearing English speakers use the word O for 0 when it appears after the decimal point. But remember, for you guys, it's much clearer, much more international. It's a much better idea to say 0 in all of these cases. Now, how about this situation where we have a 0 before the decimal point? So this number here, 0.5, which is how I want you to say it. How would most English speakers say this number? Do you have an idea? We don't say O or 0, but we would typically say 0.
Oh, yeah.
0.5. Maybe you've heard this. If you listen to CNN or Business News or BBC or Bloomberg, they'll say right now interest rates are around about 0.5%. So 0.5 is, in other words, a half. The 0 before the decimal point, we normally say 0. So this number here would be 0.507. Again, for you, it's better to say 0.507. But most English speakers would say 0.507. Here, I would say 0.050. Now, this is a terrible idea. And as we said before, this means that if I talk about this temperature, which is just below freezing point of water, I would say that the temperature is 0.05 below 0. So in one short phrase, I have 3 different ways of expressing 0. So you can see why it's a much better idea to try and standardize this. But this is what you have to be used to listening for. So this number 0, again, we're not quite sure how you spell it. There's 2 possible acceptable spellings of this word. We use it sometimes in scoring. I scored 0 out of 10 in my history test, for example. We'll look at how to do scoring, rating, and ranking with numbers. We'll look at those later. This game that you might know as tic-tac-toe. In the US, they often call it tic-tac-toe. In Britain, we call it noughts and crosses. Here's the noughts, here's the crosses. The decade from 2000 to 2009, we call the noughties. Battleships. We have a dreadnought series of battleships in the UK, meaning fear nothing. And it's a sort of word that you hear in Shakespeare. So you can see it's very old-fashioned, and it's much better for you guys to say 0 to represent the number 0. How about in sport? Do you know how we say 0, for example, in the racket sports? Tennis, badminton, squash, table tennis, etc.
Yeah,
The first point in every game, or a score of a set. Have you any idea?
Yeah, I think I've seen. Yeah, love.
Let's listen to this audio.